Hello and welcome our beloved viewers to RTD's News English edition. As usual, we'll begin tonight's news with the major and top highlights. Let's follow. The head of state returns to the country after the Arab League summit in Algeria. Integration of school infrastructure in the region. And on the international scene, a new Ebola treatment center opened in Mombasa, Uganda. Those were our major top highlights. Welcome back to our newsroom, our beloved viewers. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, returned to the country early Thursday evening. Following his participation in the work of the 31st Ordinary Summit of the League of Arab States, which took place in Algiers, the capital of the Democratic and Popular Republic of Algeria, closed Wednesday evening, the 31st Summit of the League of Arab States, and has resulted in a final declaration composed of several points, including the establishment of mechanisms to increase the level of economic integration of the region, and the adaptation of structures devoted to the acquisition of a greater solidarity and mutual aid between the countries of the Arab League to better cope with the consequences of repeated international crises. Another insertion of this final declaration advocates the realization of partnerships based on the respect of sovereignty and non-interference in internal affairs between the member countries of the Arab League and other confederations and political, economic, and cultural orders in the world. The final declaration of the Algiers Summit also included a special mention of Palestine and the undeniable right of the burly Palestinian people to self-determination in a fully sovereign state with per-June 1967 borders and with Al-Quds as its capital. The Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, proceeded to the official inauguration of the Middle School of Ali Adde on Thursday. The inauguration ceremony was lavish and saw the participation of several public figures, starting with the Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity, Mrs. Ulufa Ismail Abdo, the deputies of the Asajuk region, the acting representative of the World Bank, as well as the Director General of ADDS, the Executive Secretary of Honors. The population of the village of Ali Adde massively flocked to the site of the school and gave a triumphant welcome to the officials. This gave a festive dimension to the event. The Minister of MEMFOP and his colleague from MAS immediately cut the ribbon of the official inauguration before visiting the classroom in the administrative and sanitary blocks. Then the chief of the village of Ali Adde and the dean of the refugee population spoke from the podium to express their pride and joy of the population of Ali Adde. We are so grateful to you for this promise kept, Mr. Minister, following the commitment you made to relieve the students of Ali Adde of the difficulties of traveling to the main town to follow their schooling and middle and secondary education, they said.
قولاني وابتلان انت نومي نقولها ونرضايا واندداليا ونرضايا واندداليا قولاني وابتلان انت نومي نقولها ونرضايا واندداليا ونرضايا واندداليا dugsiyada inaan aado duruustayda inaan eegto anigay dani tahay dadkaygay adeegu tahay dugsiyada inaan aado duruustayda inaan eegto anigay dani tahay dadkaygay anfaca u tahay dalkaygay adeegu tahay dalkaygay anfaca u tahay dadkaygay adeegu tahay waxaad ku gaadhaa ogowa waxbarashada adduunyada waxa hag ogowa waxbarashada dunida albaabkeed ogowa waxbarashada waxaad ku gaadhaa ogowa waxbarashada adduunyada waxa hag ogowa waxbarashada
The acting representative of the World Bank expressed his happiness to participate in the opening ceremony of the new educational institution in Ali Adid district, pointing out that this project contributes to the government's efforts aimed at rural development. For her part, the Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity, Mrs. Uluf Ismail Abdo, explained that this educational project falls within the framework of the government's efforts related to strengthening the policy of decentralization throughout the national territory. The Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, who sponsored the ceremony, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, confirmed that the inauguration of this educational facility falls within the policy of the government represented by the Ministry of Education, aimed at providing quality education to refugees in this area. In the same framework, the Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training had devoted the day Thursday to the region of Asajok. After the inauguration of the middle school of Ali Ade, the minister and the many personalities who took part in the inauguration ceremony in Ali Ade took the direction of the place called Gadid, a few miles from the entrance to the city of Ali Sabeh. This was an opportunity for the minister to lay the foundation stone of a basic school that will bring education closer to rural populations. Welcomed in front of the minister and officials, including members of parliament of the region, the prefect and the president of the region Asajog, the representative of the World Bank by interim, and other personalities from the region. The minister was offered a crowd among the population who were waiting for him with olive branches and songs and dances to express their gratitude and appreciation. After a few heartfelt words, the minister and the Asajog figures present at the ceremony proceeded to the laying of the foundation stone.
Minankeeni kente tabudkeena kula jiro geelo waabo magaca jiro geelo waabo magaca.
Last stop in his journey as a joke Thursday, the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, proceeded to the official inauguration of the School of Ablai, not far from the town of Ali Sabeh. Many personalities and figures of the Asajok region took part in the inauguration ceremony. The place is a plain embedded at the foot of a mountainous massif. The nomadic population who live there lead a rustic life. The school is a precious asset for the children in that it offers from the means to build a better life. Upon his arrival, the minister and his delegation, as well as the many officials who welcomed with songs and dances, it must be said that the inhabitants had massed along the track leading to the school. The elders and notables, but also the women and children, loudly cheered the minister and his delegation. It was an opportunity to say a heartfelt thank you for this brand new basic school. The minister made a commitment to build a canteen and dormitories for the children who come from far away to attend the school. He concluded by stressing he was striving to implement the educational policy of the head of state, Mr. Ismail Umar Gelle, who has placed the school at the top of his priorities. On Thursday, 3rd of November, took place in the meeting room of the Ministry of Infrastructure and Equipment the signing of the minutes of discussions of the preparatory study for the construction project of the Palm Grove Bridge in the Republic of Djibouti. This document, which followed several days of inauguration, was signed among others by the Director General of the Djibouti Roads Agency, Mr. Sobani Said Ismail, and the head of the mission of GK headquarters, Mr. Shunato Kawara. The Minister of Infrastructure and Equipment, His Excellency Mr. Hassan Muhammad Ibrahim, and Mr. Mahdi Absi Bouh, Director of Bilateral Relations at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, were witnessing parties inside their turn. The signing ceremony ended with a traditional family photo. The central maqam of Sheikh Musa of the Queen of Balbala celebrated last night at the great annual ziyarat of Sheikh Abdul Qadir al-Jilani. This is a great religious festival that follows the current of world sovereign celebrate the commemorate every year from the 10th day of the 4th month of the Islamic calendar of the Hijrah. This is the date of the death in the year 561 of the Hijrah in Baghdad of this great Muslim preacher Sheikh Abdul Qadir al-Jilani. Thus every year the Sufi branch called Qadiriyya, of which he is the founder, celebrates the memory of this eminent Muslim exegete. Shifting gears towards the international scene now, Uganda's Minister of Health visited a new Ebola treatment unit in the town of Mombade as a recent surge in Ebola cases has been reported in this region. Let's follow.
Uganda's Minister of Health has visited a new Ebola treatment facility in the town of Mubende amid report of a recent surge in Ebola cases in the region. Health team are still encountering pockets of resistance to health measures, with some people referring to hide in the sanctuaries of traditional healers or who have been temporarily banned from working in the midst of epidemic. Authorities remain confident, however, the population is beginning to understand that Ebola is not a witchcraft, evidenced by the fact that when the bodies were examined, an entire team present at the mechanism became ill and had to be hospitalized. Unfortunately, 3 people died, so I hope there will be a good progress in the future, said Mr. Jane Root, the Ugandan Minister of Health. In the Mubende Center built by Doctors Without Borders, a few dozen beds have been installed to help patients recover quickly and reduce the stress of isolation.
Well, by this, our blood viewers, we finally conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us and make sure to tune in later for more. Have a wonderful evening. Take care. Thank you.